Dear colleagues, good day. I'm suggesting to start. Good day once again. I'm so glad to see you on the session which is devoted to the national touristic itinerary in the Republic of Bashkortostan. And together with our colleagues, we were participating on development of the touristic itinerary, and I'm so glad to see people who helped us to do that. I will be very shortly introduce the information, and I will send you all the presentations. So as we have a lot of speakers today, I'm suggesting to do the following. So first of all, we're going to talk that we have on agenda. And the ending of our session, we will devote to the development on tourism in the Republic of Bashkortostan. And we will discuss it all together. And I would like to ask to start with Azamat Galin, who is the deputy of the Ministry of Tourism in the Republic of Bashkortostan, will be the right person here today to tell you about the tourism in our republic. Good day, my friend. Thank you very much. So I'm so glad that we are having this session. I'm so glad to see so many familiar faces and the people who are fan of tourism in our republic. If we talk about tourism, this is one of the key industry in our republic, which has amazing potential because we have a unique region and we're cultivating not only Bashkir traditions and cultures, so we're cultivating other traditions like Tatar, Udmurt, and other nationalities. So our republic has a lot of different resorts, as ski resorts, as health and well-being resorts, and we're going to discuss about all these fairs and all the seasons. So the Republic has a leading position among other regions in our country like Moscow, St. Petersburg, Crimea, Samara City. And well, this year we're having increase of up to 35% of new people coming here. We're monitoring the tourists. That's why we can say that we have a very good potential. We are working on different projects. We are working on the transport. We are helping businesses who are trying to help to make the infrastructure. So revenue among this year was about 1.5 billion rubles that we spend to improve the tourism. So we're going to speak about Ural track route today. And we also actually supported by the businessmen in some regions in our republic to develop the routes. So developing the label and brands in our republic that we're working on for 1 year very actively is very key and important course. Because when we create a label, routes or itinerary in our republic will attract investors. That is our key task. So this route should be a very innovative tool to attract tourists and to be a hello card, a welcoming card of our republic. So we were developing this route on Ural Forum in Sibay City, and we discussed about these issues there. So we are considering Ufa Yangantau, Ufa Pavlovka, Ufa Taratau, and Ufa Shulgantash routes as well. We're having plans to promote the routes on South Bay, maybe to go through regional routes, like to connect some touristic sites with Perm region. So despite the development of national routes, we have developed the tourism on creation of some economical zones, which is called Ural, in 3 regions. So we're trying to make a very comfortable and safe places to visit for tourists. We also created a very new and amazing geopark, Yangantau. Nowadays, we are having worked out Taratau geopark as well. A very familiar and well-known cave, Shulgantash, which has the pictures of 20,000 years. We need to say thank you to the head of our republic, because he really strongly supported new projects as school tourism, as the project dealt with the Belarus. And we have a very good feedback from these projects. And thanks to these projects, we have created the amount of operators in Bashkiria. Last year we had 50. This year there are 69 of them. And the number of routes, there are up to 2,000 routes. And we can say for sure that these social programs help us to do that. It's real. We has given the second life to the locations as Uspensky Temple, Narostau Mountain, Krasny Ключ in Murmansky region. We're also developing the projects of ecotourism. So my colleague, Rais, he will explain how he fulfilled his ideas just without any money, how he motivated his friends and generally people to do big projects all together that are well known among the country. In conclusion, I would like to say that making a development of the traditional national route will be the starting point of something new. And after this national route will be joined to the register of the national projects, so we're going to make new infrastructures, new other routes, new places of accommodation and catering. So we fully understand that it's a very big job. And I would like to thank Victoria that she supported us in many ways. And she gave us her knowledges, her energy and strength. So thank you very much for helping us. Thank you very much for good words. And I'm so pleased to work with the Republic of Bashkortostan. And as you said, and agreeing this route is something that we're talking about for the last several months. And today we would like you to we're going to give the floor to the person who is the head of the Association of Tourism in Russia. we would like you to ask Maya Lamidze. So can you please tell us how this national route will be a driver for other branches to develop in our country? So thank you very much, first of all, to the possibility to take part in this. Unfortunately, I can do this only online. But I should say that the Republic of Bashkortostan was the first that started applied for new routes in 2017, where this project started as brand new routes, and he was one of the first projects. So since then, there are a lot of things changed, and the routes that were brand and regional now are called national routes, and they are the part of national routes that are the projects like on a country scale. So we are, as association of operators, together with the Ministry of Tourism, we've started making these projects, and there were so people who were interested in this. So I should notice that we have so many and interesting and attractive routes in the countries, and they should be so clearly and so safely developed and done. So, and secondly, they should be sold on a very, very good business way. So the visual effects should be absolutely good, just because to attract tourists, what they're going to see there. And all these steps were kind of created at first, but after that, after several years, we formed some legal papers, legal format and platform of this, then technical tasks. So and then we had a legal act about that, which is very important because all these routes now are registered officially and they are called national. So the criteria are pretty difficult sometimes, and that's why in most cases we have to explain to the regions how these criteria should be followed and done. So, and to do that, I'm talking about the experts as per the Ministry of Tourism of the Russian Federation, and I'm the representative of this organization, and the functional tasks of this community is to assessment of these routes. So before I start my main topic, what the national route gives to each region, I would like to tell you shortly how these routes can be registered and what are the steps. So there are different terms of fulfilling and making this. So there should be someone who can sell these routes, like tour operators, and how well these tours will be sold will depend on the operators as well, and there should be an expert assessment. So to fulfill this expert assessment, the region should provide the list of the documents. I'm not going to tell you all the list, the documents, it's going to be so long. And after applying all the list of the documents, so this route is spread to all the members of the of this organization, and most of the operators are national, regional operators, and this route is assessed and discussed just up to the levels on the description. So all the members are looking at what objects and subject sites are included, what hotels are there can be provided. And I would notice that the accommodation should be provided only in some registered and legal hotels. Something different or impossible on national roads as per the legal acts. What restaurants are there catering? Well, there will be there at national food. And what impressions can get the tourists? And logistical issues are also considered as well. I don't remember any case that were sent from, for example, St. Petersburg, where the feedback was to still work out and finish the work. So that years, weeks, and sometimes years, the regions are working on registering and making the documentation done or taken. So in this case, having a long-term registration, the regions are starting giving up because it takes so long, and they're starting to, hesitating about that. So in most cases, if you started this work, it's better to finish, even if it takes so long time. After you have some pre-assessment, so the region is working out the route sense again, and in case everything is okay, sometimes it happens that the regions are not making it fully as it was required. And so in case it's all good, and so after that, you can start the dates of the expert assessment. This is a very key stage where the members of expert community of several people are considering, and they should come to the region, to the place, and just look through these routes in life. So as the tourist will come and see, they should be sure what's there exactly. Is it relevant to the information that is written on the papers? These are accommodation, restaurants, sites, and everything. They should be all correlated with information on papers. So after this expertise assessment, there is a round table, and this usually happens at the end of this tour. So all the members of these businesses that were joined to participated in this activity, in this project, so they are discussing all the matters, all details, up to some additional costs for accommodation and etc. And all this information is given to the Ministry of Economics and to all the authorities and bodies. So at the round table, the route is discussed and explained in really, really full details. And sometimes some regions were offended because of some critics and advices. But we consider this tour, not only as a touristic site, it's also considered as the route which goes through the territory, the sanitary, roads, parking lots, pedestrians, just any leisure activities, the landscape and everything, and of course the distance and the sites. So in case in the result of the roundtable, the route is recommended as a national route, there is a final stage. This is offline protection, defense of this route. So regions are not necessarily to come to defense their project, but defense is a really harsh story as it turns out. So while we had some defenses together with the Ministry of Economical Development, and there are some projects that were, that failed to be defended. As per the accommodations, as per the formation of new structures and readiness of promotion of this region, and for the cost, which is a pain while discussing and defending the project, was a very difficult questions that. And for example, we discuss sometimes that. So we discussed about the cost that we're changing sometimes. The cost should not be different if one person goes, if 15, for example, people go there. So the price should be one for that. And we had so many questions and issues together with these regions, let's say. So this tool is very important to be sold in the future. And that's why it is also all discussed in details while defending the project. After the route is accepted to be a national, it can be provided grants. But I'm not the person who can tell you about this. And all these national routes are included in the registers and together with all other national routes. So for these routes, there are shorts, all the videos, ads. The information about the routes are told in the media everywhere. So the attraction of tourists and people are really increasing. So I can tell you that for 10 minutes, I'm just trying to explain what steps you're gonna have. So there are so many routes, like hundreds of routes that people are using and around the country. And as people are coming and we have wonderful numbers for the dynamic of people coming there, so it means that people want to go there and use this product and see the region. So then why do we have national tourist routes? So then if it's still very good and people come here. So for example, I will give you an example. Unfortunately, we cannot go to Arkhangelsk. So Arkhangelsk is a pretty difficult region, so the transport is difficult from the point of the product and seasonal issues, because the seasons are really short. So the national route, touristic route, helped Arkhangelsk city to increase the volume on all the routes of the region. It happened not really fast. It had incubating period of the product is one and a half year. So you put some seeds, you create new route. It doesn't matter, national or non-national, and then it's starting to grow. It's starting to attract people just in a couple of seasons. In case of Arkhangelsk, in 1.5 in 2 seasons, people started using this product, they want to come back and see something else there. So the key parameters why this driver of the development of tourism is working. So this route, as I said, it should be perfect. It should include all the possibilities to realization, to implementation. This is as the governmental requirement. And as up to 20% in 2 years after launching. It should be registered and subsidized from the government with the perfect infrastructure. It should work very hard and to be, related to other products of the regions. And that's why it gives some added value to all the touristic products of the region. And the best example of using national routes for touristic promotion is Tyumen area. Well, we had no information several years ago. We had no information about this region. What to see? Nothing information about that. So when we started this national route and attracting the participants of the market, of different industries, the industrial bodies launched the tourism as the key resource which helps to get money and attract oil refinery businessmen. So it launched a lot of different spheres as well to attract the investments, just because they started with a traditional or national roots. So they developed a lot of spheres dealing with that, the food, the catering, the accommodation, and everything dealing with the leisure time. So these are not chances. This is possibility. So this region, the Republic of Bashkortostan, has all the opportunities just to start tourism and touristic routes work.
Thank you very much. And to continue our discussion of considering the touristic road as the driver and the development of the territory, I would like to give the floor to Marina Smirnova, head of hotel business department, with the topic of national road as the driver of tourist development. We have different definitions. You're welcome. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me. I'm trying to show you my slides. I think I did it. Unfortunately, we cannot see it. Right now, we can. So, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to come there to Ufa, but I'm sure that we will have such an opportunity later. I will highlight it later, the ways of our meeting. Actually, it is a really important topic that is discussed more and more, is the development of touristic roads and territories. I'm sorry for my professional slang, but it's quite the same. I understand that the word cluster is now very trivial, but however, everyone has their own approach to this subject. So I won't speak long about how it can look, and just take a look at this picture. I won't say where it is, but I'm sure that each of you can imagine where it can be. Unfortunately, the development of tourism in recent years gave us many examples of such negative development that killed many touristic territories, actually. Of course, we don't want and we can afford such examples to happen again. Why? Because right now we are developing tourism and we are making a huge effort to develop tourism correctly. In recent years, the field didn't get a lot of finance, and now we have to eliminate the consequences. In order to do that, we should use the planned development. It's the greatest tool that allows us to focus on what's important and where we can get the greatest results. It is also important because, as any window of opportunities, it has some limits, time limits. For example, if we if we don't get good results within some time, we will transfer these efforts to another way of development. In order to avoid that, we are trying to develop the complex development of territories. My colleague from Pragorod company will speak today also about the development of master plans of tourist territories. The Republic of Bashkortostan is included into one of the 12 privileged territories, which gives it a chance to get this complex development. This master plan allows to find the territories, the main territories that are going to be the development points. In order to highlight these territories, we develop an algorithm and an approach. But at first, I would like to highlight that what does it mean, the development. Of course, I won't give you just the classic definition, but by the way, this image shows the same, that shows that that we develop the territories that are available, not the territories that we should. But the development considers the planned development. We should provide it so that it would be possible by stages and with a plan. And we shouldn't avoid the tomorrow's perspectives. We also have some limits concerning the safety and some places that are so if a territory is overcrowded or overconstructed, we should rearrange it. And one more important aspect is that the development should engage locals to touristic activities, and we should do that. Step by step, and understanding that tourism gives us some advantages and disadvantages, because people feel stressed because of a lot of infrastructure there, and everything seems over-constructed. And here you can see the Banne lake. I think you will be happy to look at this picture. That's why I chose it. So the priority territories are formed by the tourist road. So this road is the main thing that helps us to choose the priority. Not any territory can become the priority territory, and we should choose those that have potential. And it also has the structure. The structure is consists of the several key points, and it has some features, special features. These features are important for. Sorry, I wanted to remove my image, but these features are important for highlighting those priority territories. We have a lot of discussions with the regions when we are trying to develop the priority territories. And how do we do that? It's better to do it on a map of the region. And the first thing we do is to draw the touristic places. And the priority is considered through different features, through different aspects, also including Yandex assessment and the tourism travel agents reports. And then after mapping, we see the concentration of those attractions. Of course, they cannot be the priority just what they are, and there should be also the transport availability. And when we visualized these things, we can see it clearly where and what places are the most attractive for the potential tourists. Once again, we cannot consider the territory without borders. We should somehow make the borders. And the borders are made through through some suggestions of how many tourists can drive there with the comfortable speed of 40, 50 kilometers per hour. Because it's not just going from A to B, but just seeing and looking and understanding what you're seeing, what you're looking at. And that's why we make these points that are on the comfortable distance. It looks interesting because there are some limits and some guarded territories and transport limitations. And in the picture, you can see that there are some limits also with these regions due to the bad road. I'm sorry, but you have a minute only. Well, in this case, concerning the approach of the highlighting, that's it. And I would also like to show you the priority directions of development that are planned to implement in recent years. These are the development that is planned to be transferred to the forest, to the far regions. In the master plan development, where the Republic of Bashkortostan is included. I'm ready to answer your questions if you have some, and I'm ready to discuss. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much. We hope that you will stay with us when we will have the session of Q&A session. And we are going to another topic. So our colleagues are working on touristic planning as part of the hospitality of the region project. And I would like to stress the investment topic. It is a critical point in touristic development. And we would like to give the floor to Daria Tigarova, head of Progorod company. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Let me show you my slides. Just a second. For some reason, my slides cannot be shown. We will help you in a few minutes. We can see it. Okay, thank you. Dear colleagues, good afternoon. I would like to introduce myself again. My name is Daria Chigarova. I'm the head of the project office of Progorod company. And I would like to speak briefly about our company. So our company today, due to the initiative of the government of the Russian Federation and the Ministry of Economic Development, we are making the touristic roads and schemes. Dear colleagues, honestly, I cannot see my slides. Let's try again, please. Sorry. Can you see my slides? Yes, we can see it. Okay, thank you. So in 2022, Progorod developed 4 key projects. The first is Russian scheme, and the second is the development of macro territories that includes several regions of Russia. And also, we worked on 3 more territories, which include Baikal, Big Kavkaz, and this St. Petersburg. We provide the development of these projects concerning the promotion and expertise and assessment. The next slide, please. On this slide, you can see 12 macro territories that in 2021 were approved by the government. And for these macro territories, we are developing their own touristic scheme. Marina Biulina already showed it. And it's important to highlight that each of these regions and macro territories are unique as they are. They have their own unique history, culture. They have their own unique nature. And our main task is not to make them similar, but highlight the differences, to pack them as a unique touristic offer. And the next slide. Thank you. For this purpose, in 2022, we developed a federal touristic scheme RF. And I also like to highlight that it is the first in a few decades scheme of the whole country. So the aim of the research was to find the barriers, the obstacles, the limits that we have that are stopping us from development of this field, and to find the aspects that need financing. And the work was provided with the help of the regions. You can see the photos from our sessions. We tried to look at the people that we can cooperate with, and we asked the regions to provide us with their image of their regions, so that we could rely on that later. The next slide. In order to understand how the tourism develops, we need to understand who is our tourist. So upon our data, we made a portrait of a tourist, and we understood that the average age of the tourist is from 30 to 45 years, and their income is up to 45,000 rubles, and the standard tourists spend about 7 days on traveling, and some of them prefer traveling throughout Russia only, and they mentioned some limits that makes the traveling worse. For example, there aren't enough transport. They also mentioned low level of service and high level of engineering, infrastructure, wear and tear, and that made a bad impression. And we considered these limits and barriers and tried to improve the situation. Also, when we worked on that, we made a list of prospective types of tourism up to 2025. It is the Republic of Bashkortostan, Sverdlovsk Oblast, Perm-Krai and Chelyabinsk region. One of the most prospective types of tourism are nature and some other. It doesn't mean that we will only consider these types of traveling, but we understand that there are some aspects that we can highlight and improve in each region. Next slide, please. So with Scheme RF considered the field of tourism for all country, but macro territories scheme showed the role of each region for achieving this goal, and also forming the development points and the points where the development of priority projects is possible, and where the financing can take place. We are also forming the financing plans. Our work has priorities. So at first we worked on the level of the country, and now we are working on the level of the regions, and we adapt it on this level on macro territories. Next slide, please. So while finishing the project, we are forming the transport maps. These are a set of tools that include infrastructure projects, engineering projects, and transport projects, and tourism projects. And we approve these lists with federal and regional authorities, which will simplify the implementation later. This also helps us to make changes in urban construction, documentation, work with land, make investment lots that will be clear for investors, both private and local. And we are trying to consider the interest of all parties. All in all, I would like to highlight that touristic scheme allows us to make a transparent dialogue and communication between all the participants of the process, federal authorities, regional authorities, Institute of Development, and investors, which will enhance the development of tourism in the region. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you very much, Daria.
And we are within our discussion. We are continuing from micro territories on the large-scale planning to large-scale tourism. And the first type of tourism that was mentioned by Daria Igorevna, goes to business and business tourism. Let's look at it from the point of view of halal industry. Yunusov Rishat, you're welcome to start your speech. Hello, dear colleagues. Thank you very much, especially for organizers, the Republic of Bashkortostan, for the format of the meeting and for the business format. So I came to Ufa on the 21st, and just straight from the airport, my activity started, and moving started very actively through Bashkortostan. And I always say that I have 25,000 contacts in my phone. So I met people in planes, trains, everywhere. So the Republic of Bashkortostan is a very familiar place for me. This is not the first meeting. The first meeting was in 2014, 2011, and I met the new year, the 2012, and we had a very interesting project, agricultural project that is still alive and it's developing nowadays. And thanks to this project, a big family and even region lives and grows. So, and that was the first route that I was developed. And we had a project of 5 days. We had jeeping, walking, biking, and by horses. So the Republic of Bashkortostan, I had an interview actually for our BK channel. The Republic has a really good perspectives. So I looked through the reports from the Minister of the Republic, and I see a very good dynamics from the point of view of business and tourism. We, of course, we speak about money and investments. So if you have a neighbor who asked for some money and you can give him some money, but if the person comes and you don't know this person, so there are some, time factors that stop giving them the money. So this is not. I have 4 reasons, 4 projects that I am personally participating in. That's why I came to Republic of Bashkortostan. I'm also the advisor of the president of Islamic community. So because we have more than 100 countries that are participated in Islamic Assembly. So what are the countries? I'm not going to list them, but I just tell you that the countries of Africa, of Persian countries, of Latin America, of Eastern Europe. And so these countries, they don't have no barriers, no economical barriers. So the Islamic business is developing, and that's really good. I can give you an example. So we have a production in Tatarstan when the halal products and foods started to be popular. So nowadays the company produces 90 tons of halal food. So we talked about the resources, and we talked about territorial, financial resources, and we also should mention about people. I'm a good friend of Packer company, which is located in Oktyabrski city. I visited them personally when there was the day of Oktyabrski. So I'm having a hobby. I'm making photos, and on my anniversary of 60 years, we've made the gallery with my photos of this city. So I love the Republic of Bashkortostan. It's a really friendly place, and nowadays we have a very simple access to personal contacts, even not in our country, but other countries like China, Brazil, and other countries. And I can go to the person or company and speak. And so it's really accessible to attract investors and businesses to Republic of Bashkortostan. Actually, I'm waiting for the video. Yeah. In 2014, he had the courses on the qualification courses in Tatarstan in Halal sphere. He has a certificate of Halal RT. He's the consulting person of hosting and hotel services. International Assembly of Islamic Associations started several years ago. they combine the most attractive sites and places throughout the country. Oh, I have 4 spheres: business, active tourism. We have 70% of participants of active sports, historical tourism, and food and health, well-being tourism. So these are 4 priority fields. We have a lot of professionals in our businesses. We are developing our business, and we are correlating with the business courses. Just I would like to add to, in the conclusion of our video, it's a really the minimum, which has the minimum risks of all businesses. So my first experience was with people from Holland. I had an acquaintance. She worked at the university. She was a teacher of English language, and she had some issues. So that's why she started started doing forums, and she invited me to cooperate with other businesses. And since that, I had my personal contacts with businesses. So we really succeeded in that business with Holland people. And we had a meeting in London with Holland companies. So I think that Republic of Bashkortostan is a really prospective region, not only for the Republic but for the whole country. I'm really ready to visit any Bashkir region on any event. And we can listen to anyone, we can meet and discuss all the issues, and they also can be involved in some projects of Islamic assemblies. So, for example, very recently we had companies from India that are producing the cosmetics. So this is a good example. So Pakistan and Iran companies are coming to us as well, and we're having very close contact. So we're open to make the businesses, and our president, he is supporting our mission, and he said hi to all of you. He has a lot of work to do. So the pandemic changed his schedule, his trips, and he's very busy. He knows each representative and makes a good relationships with them. So we have our own resource, we have our own language that we're talking with the Islamic world. When we had the meeting from the acquaintance from the countries that we were working, and so people are making photos and sending us, and they're saying us, this is not what that we were expecting. So I should say that we need to prepare for meetings. We need to know right contacts to work on in the future. So you should understand that the biggest task for each person of the country, of the republic, is to earn money as per halal principle without any limitations. Thank you very much. And for 1 year, I'm just visiting the Republic of Bashkortostan, and each time I go there, I'm just thinking, I think I would not stay there for half a year. And so if we speak about some accurate examples and projects, we have Ksenia. She will tell us about that. Hello. Um, so I'm really active uh, person, and I also always ready to go to somewhere. So I'm not gonna be so long. I'm not gonna stay, sit here, and I will be just very short. So the project, which is called Big Ural Trip, which this is the project that promotes Ural region in our country. We have different regions as touristic brands, for example, Altai and other countries. And today, Ural sounds really unusual, but still we have some interesting and fancy routes. And this is so cool that we have participated in this such a good project as Ural Trip. I'm the representative of the project in Bashkiria, and the project combines 5 regions. These regions you have mentioned, my colleagues mentioned through the speakers. So this is Orenburgsky region, Permsky region, Arkhangelsky, and Republic of Bashkortostan. So the longest mountain trail is ours. So the trail goes through different landscapes, mountains, fields. So we should say that this is a mountain trail, and this route connects absolutely different landscapes and territories. The most beautiful landscapes of Ural, and we should not be afraid to tell that. Ural is one of the most beautiful and amazing places. So in our republic, you can also meet through the route different rivers that attracts a lot of people. So this project is supported by several structures. So you can see on the slide the name of these structures. The Republic of Bashkortostan, as other regions, is supported by the Ministry of Tourism and Sports. Thank you very much for possibility to discuss any issues and make some conclusions on that issues. Plus, so the advantage of this route is 2,500 kilometers. It's a really big route trail. And what are the key issues? These are very good roads, through the mountains. So we have airports. We have now airport in Magnitogorsk city, the rail transport, which gives us, to enlarge our project. So if we talk about the parts of Ural, we represent the North Ural, Sverdlovsky, Permsky region. So you can see the pictures and big cities of these regions. So the Middle Ural, this is Sverdlovsk and Chelyabinsk region, amazing nature. And of course, Southern Ural, the Republic of Bashkortostan, and Orenburgsky region. On South Ural, on the Republic of Bashkortostan, I will give you more detailed information. So the administrative center is Ufa. So the amount of people and the amount of territory is quite big, and the route goes through this region, which connects absolutely amazing landscapes. You can see the red line. So this is the map of this line through the Republic of Bashkortostan, which located the highest peaks of mountains in this region. So you can see the red line. This red line can be very helpful for other routes that can be, additionals. And this is also very perspective for business. So there are just some of the sites that are seen on the slide, but actually there are more than that. So the Big Bashkir Trail has different ways of trips on our website. Very, very soon, we're going to have the scenario of routes in the format of camps on days of holidays, walking routes, and the tours that are packed by tour operators and different organizations with the guides. And it is going to cost, the tour is going to cost €3 for 1 week. So it's going to combine 3 natural zones for 7 days. The person can arrive at the airport, one of the airport, and then there are special sites where of these zones, natural zones. So electronic digital map will be available, will be on the phone's app available, and there will be a personal account of the tourist. It's quite pleasing to know that you are identified into the application. So the bus stop, the catering restaurants, and everything, accommodation will be also mentioned on the application. Library. Nowadays, we have a book that combines the attractive points of the Ural Trail. This is a kind of a map that will help you to go to some attractive and famous points. And there will be more detailed information about other sites. So there is a volunteering program that was mentioned before. It is important to have people who can help to organize everything and for the tourists. So we have a team of volunteers that are created among the people who are doing its own job and knows her own job. And we need these people, and these people are very important. We have formed the leading team around all the regions, and the person who actually you can go to and contact, it's me in the Republic of Bashkortostan. So we can also actually can go through some education, some issues, details. So everything goes to me, and I can explain. So we have nowadays more than 100 kilometers that are mapped. So Oksana Lytkina, she is a tourist who went through this route more than 6,000 kilometers, and we registered these information in social nets. And the interest to this project, as for the route where you can, realize yourself as a tourist or as a person who would like to develop something here, is a really key factor. And this interest from different regions and from our region. So you can see the perspectives that we're seeing nowadays and the list actually can be continued depending on what role we would like to pay attention. So please come to me. You have my contacts. So welcome to the Republic of Bashkortostan, who is from other regions and who are from here. We can go through the routes all together. Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to just to tell you, yes, please, let's start. And in our discussion, I would like to go from the Ural Trail to South Ural Trail. Rais Gabitov, you're welcome to start. Can you please start the video? So you can see the smell of this plant, and this is the smell of Zauralye. And in June, you can smell the smell of strawberry. Thank you very much. Can you please just put my presentation? I will be much faster and more dynamic, just to encourage you to move, to be active somehow. So this is my point of view for the future of South Ural Trail. So I'm the ambassador of Bashkiria. I'm the founder of this trail, and I'm a blogger as well. So how this idea created of the Ural Trail. So this is the photo of me. I'm 5 years old, and this is just beside my house, of my grandfather's house. And my grandfather takes me to the fields to harvest, to the harvest. So I have parents from the regions in Bashkiria that Ural Trail goes through. So I have a lot of relatives from all these places. So what should be the trail in Ural? I'm doing touristic activity for many years, and we analyzed together with Oleg Chugadaev. So probably you know him. This is the main expert who went through the Ural from south to north, and he visited all the regions of Ural. And we discussed with him that a good trail we should do on the Ural area. There are two aspects. First of all, it's a very various landscape, starting with the Orenburg and chains of mountains, ending with very high mountains in our republic. We'll look through different spaces and historical spaces and Bashkir national places. When we start going to the middle Ural, which is in Sverdlovsky region, so the landscape is pretty flat, and if you go to the north, you will have no accommodation, no roads. And if you go much more north, there's nothing. So all the activity goes to the Ural part. That's why we focused on the South Ural. So we started this in 2017 with my colleagues who are so enthusiastic about that. So how we started this? So these projects started to be volunteering together with the society. For example, last year we collected money for this trail. And how do you think how much money we've got? For how many time we collected this money? For one night. And that was just friends, no media, nothing, no ads. So I should say that we've been supported by the society a lot. So this is one of my friends. He is a really very famous businessman from Kaliningrad. He has bought this site, and actually this money went to create this trail. In 2023, this year, we finished 500 kilometers. And that's why our main part was finished, mapped. So how it looks like, have a look at the screen. So we've took the best places and connected just in one area, like Banное Resort, Abzakovo Resort. There's so many people there, you know that. And we just connected the main points, Remel, Zubchatki, and other Chelyabinsk regions, Zuratkul Park, Taganai, and went to Turgayak Lake. And if you go to Magnitogorsk airport, and if you go to a trail, and then you come back through Chelyabinsk, and that's a good way, to look through the Bashkiria. Well, more than 600,000 tourists per year we have on the South Ural. So this is a very prospective numbers. A very important moment. So this trail is created so that you will be able to go without any camping, like tents. So we think about any accommodation like villages, hostels, maybe hotels. And you have actually the same infrastructure of the trails in America and Europe. Just 1 second. As I know these places very well. I know the villages. We've made this trail through Bashkir villages, Russian villages in Chelyabinsk region, so then tourists can go through these villages and buy some traditional and local food, go to sauna and banya. So then a very dying somehow villages would be given some fresh air. And for all the acquaintance in these villages, I explain and tell not to be afraid that there will be a lot of tourists. Please be welcome. And I have friends from Moscow who come to these villages, and I told to local people that they can they can cook just traditional food, and that would be amazing for them. About safety, it's a very key factor. So there are most of the routes can be walked, yes, we can say, on a safe way, but just together with the children. And actually, you can go to this trail together with your family. So it's pretty accessible. The route is accessible because it's 2 hours from Moscow. And so this is our unique place as a Bashkir culture and tradition, because this trail goes through a very, very unique and cultural ways. And the landscape and the history is connected to the mountain factories that started to work in 18th, 19th century. So these factories and production changed the landscape. So for you to understand, the South Ural is one of the urbanized places on Earth because there are so many factories there. But they're so naturally connected with with landscapes, with natures, as they look as just lakes, mountains, and these different routes and Ural Trail, South Ural Trail goes through these places, and you will see just natural places, though these are factories. You should know that through this South Ural Trail, there are a lot of routes for athletes. There are done many marathons, running marathons. So it's kind of a very good collaboration for the athletes and for tourists. So I'm actually a very active person, and I'm running through mountains. And very important moment as for Moscow, people from Moscow and St. Petersburg, at some areas, there are no access to any mobile, any net, and not net, and cell phones are not working, so they are kind of meditating for some time. So can you give me just some kind of another presentation? But it's okay. So the trail should be connected. So then to accept it as a whole trail. So then people should start from point A and finish on a point B. When we started this project, we had, in 10 days, we had people who started and finished the trail. And the people who go through the whole track, the whole trail, they will get a special certificate, which is created by Oleg Chugadaev. It's a very interesting story. We have several people who, went through and finished this route. The society. So, as I said, our trail is formed by the society. There are so many people who are searching, who are marking the routes. Someone is just making ads through social media, and this is our power. We are having family festival, which we're holding the 4th time this year, and the perspective year will be a family year. So every year we're making this trail for our children and grandchildren, and I think it's really, really important to attract children as well. So what about digital issue? We have a very good partner, which is Yandex, and we created the first panoramic picture of the area of Большой Ремель. If you go to Yandex Map, you can see the whole trail, and you can see how I went through it, and you will see this picture. 40 kilometers and 1,200 photos, and next year we'll do more photos. What are the plans? So next year, we're going to do more trails to the South Ural to Burzyan. We're going to make some scientific works because we have a special society and businesses for support, and we have a science. And as I said before, we're very, very friendly with the Ministry of Tourism, so we have a good support for the plans. So you can see the representatives of IPAC, who are the biggest producers of plastic packs. So we're going to have a very good presentation of our trail in the future. So please, you're welcome to come. Thank you very much. I'm so very active. I'm very fan of the marathons. So once you have such planned, please tell me. So We usually do this in Banna Lake, but now we can go to South Ural. So when we talked about brand of Bashkir route, so we kind of decided to do this interregional. So there are some colleagues who are suggesting international routes like India and the Republic of Bashkortostan. We're gonna. There will be our colleague from India, доктор Мануш. Здравствуйте. Do we have a speaker? Is it connected? The professor of agriculture and agricultural industry in India. Dear colleagues, can you just inform me how is the internet connection? So I can tell us that we finished our session on time.
Hello, Manush. You have 5 minutes. The floor is yours. Can you please turn on your mic? We can't hear you yet. No, your mic is.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, yes. I'm so sorry. I'm a little poor in this Zoom technology. Hello, good evening, respected chair, ladies and gentlemen, friends from Russia and other countries. Now you can hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, perfect.
Yes, good, great. Pravestivia, I'm very happy to be part of this gathering today. And my topic is related to sustainable ecotourism in mountain regions of Himachal Pradesh, one province in northern part of Himalaya, and the Republic of Bashkortostan. So you can see some of these slides, glimpses from eco-tourist attractions in Himachal Pradesh. It is almost 300 to 400 kilometers north of Delhi, the capital of India. There are a lot of attractions, dams, lakes, cricket stadiums. Cricket is very popular in high altitude cricket stadium. A lot of international cricket matches happen here. And Shimla is capital town of Himachal Pradesh, like Ufa is the capital of Bashkortostan. Is another part of Himachal, Chamba. There are beautiful valleys. This is another part of hilly, Himachal Pradesh, Kullu and Manali. We have monasteries, Buddhist monasteries, beautiful Buddhist monasteries, and religious tourism. Lot of religious tourism. Lot of people, lot of tourists go to the religious places. Adventure tourism is also there, skiing and there are different lakes. So this entire Himalayan region is beautiful, but here I'm just talking about Himachal Pradesh. So there is tremendous potential for ecotourism. We have large number of tourist arrival every year in the state, and lot of biodiversity hotspots in Himachal. And you can see the domestic tourist arrival is about 2.5 million in 2022, and international tourist 250,000. These three sockets have 1.2 million in Dharamshala, 900,000 in Shimla, and Manali, almost 750,000, and it is growing. Economic impact of religious tourism is also very high because it's contributing in the GDP, and it is generating a lot of employment also. You can see tourist arrivals and ecotourism revenue in million rupees, which is almost equal to the to your currency. Very little difference. So 150 million, 120 million, 160 million, 180 million. It is growing every year. And the contribution to the GDP, you can see that almost 15% of GDP is coming from the hospitality and tourism sector. And a lot of employment generation, direct and indirect. Similarly, I recently visited Ufa, and particularly Ural, range of mountain, and it's really beautiful. It has tremendous scope because of its beautiful landscape, mountain, rivers, caves, lakes, villages, countryside, autumn time attractions, cultural diversity, health tourism, ecotourism can be promoted here in this region. I have visited some of these. These are the pictures which I took. Some holy spring water, Oral mountain range, and the cultural. Bashkortostan and Himachal both are beautiful in terms of art and cultural. Attractions. So a lot of tourists can go to Himachal as well as Bashkortostan helipads. There are a lot of similarities, resembles. And then green heritage and town planning attractions also, like in the capital city of Ufa and Shimla, they can work together. Ufa is capital of Bashkortostan, and this is Shimla, the capital of Himachal Pradesh. It is called Queen of Hills. It's also beautiful, and the twin city idea of twin city is also good. And ecotourism in the mountain regions in Bashkortostan as well as in India, in Himachal Pradesh, are very, very important, and it has tremendous potential for economic development as well as sustainable development. And to harness this, I think we need um, you know good biodiversity conservation measures, community involvement in tourism activities. We can engage a lot of local people, and they can upgrade their houses for the tourist also. Here in Himachal, we have a lot of people, local people, who have homestay is very, very popular there, and then handicrafts items which they sell to the people. They have guided tours in the local village areas, in the forest areas. Then educational initiative, the different educational program for tourists and students and other people, other stakeholders can be organized in hilly areas in mountain regions. Eco certification is also very important. Encourage accommodations and tour operator to obtain eco certifications because environmental friendly dimensions are very important for promoting ecotourism. India is doing it. Himachal is doing it now, and then infrastructure development. We need to also see that we have suitable infrastructure, better environmental management, and so that we have minimum ecological footprint, and promotion of lesser known areas, because I think there must be some areas in Oral Mountain range also that which are very less known to the even when I visited there for the first time, I saw that kind of beauty, but I was not very much aware. about Ural mountain range. So I think these kind of lesser known areas are need to be promoted in different parts of the countries, including in India. Adventure and nature based tourism is also very very important because it brings a lot of activities. I was in Altai region, and they have a beautiful skiing resort, for all season resort. Those kind of tourism activities can also be promoted in Ural and in also in our part of mountain in Himachal Pradesh. Research and monitoring practices are also important because now environment impact assessment is also becoming important in all major infrastructure projects, road construction, housing construction, and other major big real estate development projects. And awareness and regulation and enforcement, all these are, I think, important dimensions where we can work together. Create Chandigarh My Institute and Center for Strategic Development UFA can work together in many areas. This is the picture from my city where I live in Chandigarh. It is a planned city and planned by Lee Corbusier. So we and the Center for Strategic Development, we can work together in several sectors in mountain regions, mountain cities, for promoting ecotourism, for looking at its economic and social potential, and promoting the cultural exchanges, and the joint research program to sustain those activities in mountain regions. I visited a few months back UFA and met a lot of people at the Center for Strategic Development. Thanks to Professor Dr. Rima and his director and deputy director and other people who facilitated this. Chandigarh is doing a lot of good work in energy sector, including solar energy and some other parts. So I think UFA and Chandigarh, some twinning joint program can be organized, and we can facilitate it. We have a very green city, and you can see solar plants on all the. We also have a lot of non-motorized walkability areas and bicycle areas, so promoting green transportation to protect the environment. There are many more areas on socio-economic development, environment dimension, and issues related to ecotourism. So I think these are some of the things I think we can work together. This is my institute called CRID in Chandigarh. Dr. Rima has visited here, and we do a lot of research activities with different countries and different ministries, and we have a lot of programs in urban sector, in rural sector, in tourism sector, in education, health, and many more. So I think we have good potential to work together. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Коллеги, спасибо всем большое.
Dear colleagues, thank you very much for your attention. So we have no time actually to continue our session, but if you have so urgent questions, you can ask. Unfortunately, I cannot hear the speaker.
Я сначала вопрос задам, потом вы
I would like to ask a question, and then you will tell your opinions. Have you ever had, within your experience, the routes that private persons created some ethno museums, provided halal food? And the second question, Azamat Ansarovich, I addressed to him. And I will ask this very global question. As Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin considers the names in foreign languages very critical, we know that we Bashkir people on our lands, we have 36 epophses uh, this amount of episodes is not existing on Earth. And the speaker speaks in Bashkir, partially. So these episodes combine the ideas of philosophical questions of our living beings. So at the moment, we have so many myths and legends that are still here.
На обсуждение, поэтому давайте 30 секунд на вопрос.
And when in Moscow, when I was in the hospital, I met our local people from our land, and it appeared that they come to the Republic to have this energy of Ural and the Republic of Bashkortostan. And you know what they asked me? Why everything unique, we try to centralize everything that is unique, that we change the names, the unique names to Russian names. So it is important for tourists to hear the local, the first name of some place, and they want to eat Bashkir cuisine, and they want to have this Bashkir cuisine. And the question is, do you consider these questions? Do you discuss these questions? Because it is an issue, it is a problem, and it can be solved. Do you raise such questions on the level of government? Thank you. Thank you very much for your question. So the first road that we made on the federal, on the governmental level, called True Bashkiria, and the author is Artur Mirasic. We made a road that was really popular among foreign people. And people came from Spain, France, South America, and they visited this road. And people were able to immerse into our cuisine, into our culture. We had the original names of food, of some dishes. The speaker speaks Bashkir. And they actually called all the traditional dishes with cheese that they are called differently in Bashkir. They called it cheese. And it's important to us. We understand this role of ours. And but despite a Bashkir culture, we also understand that we had a Russian tour. You say that Bashkir, but Russian language should also be supported because we visited the restaurant and there was just pizza or sushi or steak, and we made a road to Birsk. Where local food and traditions. I also really like the road to Myzinsky district. We're also planning to make roads to Mishkina and Bishbulak villages. Bishbulak is Chuvash road, and the other one is Chuvash Marine. And I would also like to say that we are not just a multinational region, but also we support these nations and in all aspects and in tourism also. Thank you. I'm afraid we are running out of time. I have a question. Thank you for your presentation. There were a lot of words about the development of tourism and that the Bashkortostan is the center that needs this frame, and that individual entrepreneurs want to create eco hotels and glampings and etc. Are you ready to? Is government ready to support such initiatives, and where do we get financing for that? As I already mentioned, this year we took a great application from the Ministry of Culture, and it was enough for 6 roads. And I hope that participants will apply next year. And also we got about 9,000 million rubles for tourism development. As Maya said, we will see, maybe there will be some glamping there. Why not? We actually really like to create such projects, but do I understand correctly that we should apply for grants next year? Yes. It's hard to predict the behavior of the ministry, but in a month we usually understand that something is planning. Okay, then when should we prepare? You should prepare right now. Thank you. Thank you, dear colleagues.